Hey guys, so I'm going to do another process today using my stash, and today I decided to use my um, bin of scraps. So I went through and picked out a bunch of different scraps, and I punched out a lot of different stars. And I chose the star punch just because it's one of the two kind of generic punches I have, and this one was smaller, and I could stamp, not stamp, I could punch shapes out from smaller pieces. So this is all the things that will probably go in the garbage can, and then I do have some extra papers if I need more stars. So I played around with where I wanted to place them and see if I liked the idea of using the stars or not. And I kind of have a general idea of how this is going to go. I might completely change my mind, but who knows. And I've also pulled out this background that I made the other day that I thought I'd try and use up. So we will see if I end up using the background or not. So here's that. I'm going to put you in fast forward now and see where. Okay, so I'm going to start by adding some paint to the background just to kind of make that stencil stand out and also add a bit more interest on the back. So first thing I did though was trim down my photo and mat it with my go-to white cardstock with a little notebook kind of punch out on the edge, and I just really like the interest that adds. So I'm going to use the Distress ink in tumbled glass and piece of packaging to just apply some at the two areas where I thought my stars would go on at this point. So I'm also going to add a bit of Mermaid Lagoon to the top, and that just creates it's a gorgeous blue, but it wasn't the blue I was looking for this page. That blue I think would be perfect for beach photos and stuff, or pool photos, because it's the exact same color, especially in combination with the tumbled glass. But anyway, so in the bottom here, I'm not going to add the Mermaid Lagoon. I'm just going to add the actually, I think it was peacock feathers. Yeah, I think I added the peacock feathers one. Or maybe not. I don't know. It was one of the two. And then at the bottom, I'm just adding tumbled glass. And my original thought process here was to have a bunch of stars at the top and then a bunch down here kind of surrounding the photo and overlapping it a bit. So I'm just randomly laying out stars at this point. I'm not paying too much attention to the color because I'm just trying to figure out where I want to put the stars. So there might be a bunch of blacks next to each other, a bunch of pinks next to each other at this point, but that wasn't concerning me. I was just trying to figure out the placement of all these stars. So I kind of have them in a circular shape at the bottom there, and then on top here I'm making straight lines for the most part. So I'm going to that's going to be a bit of an issue because that looks just really weird. And also the top is centered on the stenciling, and the curve is off to the right. It's like falling off the page almost, and that was bothering me a bit too, but I'm going to play around with it. So I thought I straighten out the bottom cluster of stars as well, just so it was a bit more cohesive. The top and the bottom matched a bit more, and I was trying to figure out where I wanted to place the picture, if I even like this design, if I wanted to do something else. So at this point it's just a lot of me playing with the placement of the stars, since it's such a vocal element. And these papers are all papers. Most of the papers that I use to stamp the shapes out are from the very first paper that I ever bought for scrapbooking about 4 years ago, and those include the Dots and Stripes 6x6 pad from American Crafts. There's some the Basic Stack by Die Cuts with a View, I believe. And there's also some kind of newer product. I do have some Amy Tangerine stitched in there, and also like a sort of floral paper pad. So here I thought maybe I could do a kind of a wreath, but that wasn't working for this layout. So I'm back to my original plan. And then I saw this piece of chipboard that I thought would look nice. It's a white piece of chipboard from Bella Boulevard, and I thought maybe I could kind of curve that as well because it's in two pieces. And then just to kind of fill in that gap, I thought that I could use the rest of these scraps, and that also brings in the colors from the stars behind my photo and so on. So I did temporarily remove the mat, but I like it a lot better with my mat behind the photo, so I'm gonna put it back on there in just a second here. So yeah, and now I'm going through die cuts because I have no idea where any embellishing is going to go on here whatsoever. So I'm just going through die cut packs that I think might have something that matches. So first one here is the Dear Lizzie Lovely Day collection, and I didn't find anything in there for the time being. So I decided I'm just gonna glue these stars down and see where it goes. So I'm just taking my glue pen and I've glued all the stars at the bottom. This glue pen, I would have not used that glue pen. It's not the ideal glue for this, especially since there's a gesso behind the stars. But the only liquid adhesive that I have is the gel pen. And I did not want to cut tiny bits of double-sided tape to put behind each of the stars. So I just glued them down with a glue pen. I did have to glue some more than once down, and there's still stuff falling off right as we speak. I have the layout here so I can look at it while I'm doing the voiceover, and the star just fell off. So when I finally get some new glue, maybe I'll have to go back and re-glue those, but that's okay. So now that I have all of them glued down, I think I've glued down the top ones at this point as well. I'm going through a bunch of different things. So I pulled out a tag from the Lovely Day collection, and now I thought about using this frame because that navy kind of matched the navy in some of the stars, but it was too dark in the end, so I'm not going to use any of those frames. Yeah. And the design I ended up going with is a almost completely centered design. It goes down the middle of the page where the gesso is, but it's not completely centered on it. It's a bit to the left, and I kind of like that design as well. So yeah, now I'm going through this chipboard set, and this had some colors that match, so I'm gonna use that tab up there. And I thought about using these exclamation marks, but they weren't really working. I think if one were to stitch through these stars, that would also look cool, but I don't have the time to do that, and I just no. So yeah. But if that's what someone would like, I think this would be the perfect opportunity to do something like that. And then here I thought about using this lovely piece. I've been trying to use that piece on so many layouts, and I just can't. It doesn't work. And then here I'm going through the Chanel sticker book here, the little by little sticker book, because I'm trying to figure out how I want to embellish this page without covering the stars up too much and without distracting from the photo, because this is quite busy with all the patterns in the stars. So I want to cover some of them but not cover all of them because I do like how they look. I don't know if that makes any sense, and I just want to help the photo stand out a bit. So I did add a sticker star up there that was in the Chanel sticker book, and I only have one star left, so I thought I would just use it here because I would normally want a couple more to make for another layout. So I did also pull out some washi tape from the sticker book, that camera washi tape, and I stuck a strip at the bottom and a little tiny bit at the top. And now I do have a button down there. I'm trying to figure out where I want to add some of these buttons. So I have one down by the washi tape to create a kind of cluster, and I have one up by that tag. And now I really wanted to spell out a title for this one because there is a story. So I wanted to have the words Pancake Tacos on here. I know that makes completely no sense, but I'll talk about it in a bit. So I am going to use these Rockabye foam stickers in a white. They're just a white font, and I'm going to spell out the words Pancake Tacos right under the word memories. So the reason I wanted to have this on this page is because this was taken on my sister's birthday, and for some reason my family decided we were going to have pancakes for lunch. So So yeah, we had like let's call it a savory pancake with cheese and ham. But it wasn't really ham. It's more of like it's a meat. It's like a sandwich meat, but it's kind of something maybe you can only find here in Cyprus. Kind of like a anyway. So that one, yeah, that one we named a savory burrito, and then we had a taco with like Nutella and whipped cream and stuff. And my sister was, and then we were to eat them. We were kind of folding them up so they look like tacos. So that is how that name came along. But anyway, and then I realized that the word memories and pancake tacos didn't really have anything to do with each other. So I thought I'll just add the words up to the top we made, and that also brings that same font up there and just ties the whole cluster a bit together, ties the whole cluster a bit better. So it's going to read in the end, we made memories and pancake tacos. I did not plan to do that, it just happened, but I kind of like that it did. I would have never thought of to do that if I hadn't stuck down that chipboard piece in advance. And now I need some sort of ampersand to put between the memories and the pancake tacos, and that the ampersand that I ended up putting also fills in that gap between the words, so that worked out nicely. And that ampersand is from the Vicky Burin die cut pack that I have. I think it's from her I believe it's her first collection. And then I backed that button down there with this not scalloped, I don't know what to call it, like this circle with a triangular like with like triangle sticking out of it down at the bottom, and that just adds another pop of that blue and also kind of grounds the button there and also makes it stand out a bit actually. So I think that's about it with embellishing. I'm going to border the whole page 2 times with a black gel pen just to kind of ground it a bit. And now I'm going to attempt a couple more things with the embellishing. So I have this, this is a thicker set. I think it's from the Amy Tangerine. It is by Amy Tangerine. I think it's from the On a Whim collection. And yeah, I was really looking for something to place up there to fill in the gap where my title is at the top, and also to give a home to that button so I could have 3 buttons on my page. So I am going to pull out a camera from the Little by Little sticker book there. And I did want to do just a bit of journaling, so I'm just going to write down a couple lines of journaling at the bottom there, right over my gesso. I'm gonna write really slowly in places, but this gel pen really allows to easily write over gesso. I cannot express how much I love this gel pen here. So yeah, and then because I have this thing that I need to have the pen that I used for the journaling in other spots on the layout, I am gonna doodle some hearts in various places, and I'm gonna finish the thing off with some white splatter. I'm just using acrylic ink by Pebeo, and then I thought I could use some of this blue. It's the turquoise color, and I kind of like it, but when it dries it breaks. I don't know if that makes any sense. Maybe you can see it in the pictures when I post them over on Instagram. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.